I let the dogs out, and I'm a creature of habit, so I do everything the same every night. I get my container of duck food and my flashlight on my phone in one hand, and I open the back door with the other hand to let the dogs out. So we go outside. I got a little tiny deck, and then the steps. And I took one step onto the step, and the wood broke free, and it sounded like a gunshot. And the stairs evaporated underneath me.
Did you go through?
No, I did a triple Lindy.
He did a Lutz?
Yeah, a triple Lutz with a twist.
Did you toe pick?
Yeah, toe pick. And I landed in the gravel driveway on my side. I cut my elbow, I cut my knee.
Whoa!
Oh, dude. I laid in my driveway for what seemed to be like an hour. And then I crawled to my phone and called for help. Yeah, it was horrible.
Did you have to get airlifted out of there?
Yeah, yes, I did. They sent in a life flight. I thought I was dead, though. It was so, it happened so quickly, like I didn't even have time to say fuck.
Wait a minute, so if the wood got destroyed under you, why did you go forward? Why didn't you go downward?
There was a ledger board where the stairs were attached to the deck, and that broke free somehow, and it just launched me.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great.
I feel like that would have been like the scene in like a Dennis the Menace or a Home Alone where like letting the trap go on the guys.
I'm sure that if there was video of it, I look like a complete and utter moron.
I love watching people eat shit on video.
Oh,
You must love that show Ridiculousness
Yeah.
or whatever.
Like they call that thing the lawn chair.
We put that on at work all the time.
When somebody gets hit and they just get folded,
Yeah.
like they fold forward.
I just laid there so I'm hurting today.
Yeah.
You need a hug?
Maybe later.
Yeah. So, what did you think of the film? I mean, everybody loved the churros. I didn't really hear about what people thought of the movie.
Dude, fuck, those churros were fantastic. I never had a churro.
Me neither.
I had a half-ass cinnamon twist.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, how much different can they be? Dude, my eyes were open to the churro life.
Now I'm told that you have to have dipping sauces with them, so that's like a whole other churro experience we have to have.
No, listen, dude. If I wanted dipping sauces, I would just pour a dipping sauce in my mouth.
Okay.
I want the full churro.
The same place also does filled churros. Like
There was a lot of... How many churros did you bring home?
15 out of 120, which is not bad.
I think I ate 7.
I had about 53 of them.
Yeah, like I literally wanted to die.
There was one kid at the end who like was filling his empty popcorn bag with them, and then like the people that
I know a kid who did that too.
I know a kid that did that.
Yeah. So the people that were with him were like, okay, how many do you have in there? They're like, okay, stop. And I was just like, I don't care. I mean, like, you take them, you don't want to take them, you don't want to take them, whatever.
Oh god, it wouldn't have been good because like that's the type of thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's within arm's reach, it's getting dominated.
So the
all of it.
The pan for it is sitting in my back seat right now, inside like the steward's thing.
Is there still churros in there?
Yeah.
Ooh,
But they're
cold.
They're day old.
I don't give a fuck.
Okay. Well, what I was getting at though was like when I got into my car this morning, that smell was great. Is it like the churro smell hotboxed in the car the way like nasty shit would, but in a good way?
Let's get into a little preamble before said movie started.
Mm-hmm.
Was that theater not a fucking sauna?
It was.
It was like 7,000 degrees.
Did it get better? Because I went out.
I don't think it did.
I went out and I told them to turn off the heat, and I also took one of those like things that like you'd stand in line behind, like the little tape rope things. And I put the stand for that in front of the door, so the door for our theater was open to the whole movie, just so we could get a little cross breeze.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I felt fine. I felt like I wanted to get more drink, but I didn't want to miss anything, so I didn't.
Well, I wore a hoodie in because usually those theaters are Arctic. It's like 32 below.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, because it was like barely 40 degrees at the start of the day, like they had the heat on. So I'm like, no, please turn it off.
So, first of all, I want to get into a couple trailers.
Well, before that, let's talk about the freaking chairs in the movie theater.
You like them?
It's funny.
No, I hate them.
Why?
My wife said how much she thought they were comfortable
Really?
right after you said your shit.
I just had a shitty chair.
I don't know. I feel that they're...
Well, you're also a big fucking tall dude.
I just feel like this is like, what, the third or fourth movie that we've field tripped to?
Yeah.
And I just...
Oh, yeah, 4.
I just, you know...
3?
Batman,
Or
Spider-Man, Morbius.
Yeah.
Were we doing the podcast for Spider-Man, though? I don't think we had started yet.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't
know.
No, because that was last year.
Yeah.
But it just... I think they're not as comfy as, like, people make them out to be.
So
Weird, you sit at a weird angle.
just to point this out, and I don't know if we've seen any movies in there yet. So our theater has what they call, what the hell is it? The MXC, which is supposed to be the equivalent at other theaters of what they call Dolby, like a Dolby Atmos theater.
It's where we watched Morbius.
Okay, so we did see. So the chairs in MXC are better than the chairs in the rest of the house, because those ones you could do hot and cold controls individually on your seat, but they only have them in MXC.
I don't know if that. I don't know. I just find them uncomfortable.
You could chill your grundle.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing better than a chilled
grundle. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we did see some, besides the uncomfortable chairs and the temperature of the place, we did see some cool trailers.
Yeah, so what did we get? We had Lightyear?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like a different trailer for Lightyear, like more like story trailer.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Yeah, I'll watch that at home.
Yeah.
Dude, the new Jurassic Park is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah.
Did I miss a Jurassic Park trailer? Was there a Jurassic Park trailer?
Yeah, like an extended one.
I might have been running around like emceeing. I might have missed it.
Possibly.
I don't remember it.
The Thor, same trailer. It was the same TV trailer, I think.
Yeah. It was.
That movie's gonna be dark.
I think it's a bait and switch. I told you that.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a bait and switch because
I got people asking me already if I'm doing another theater thing for it, and I was just like, why you guys gonna do this to me? Like, I'm trying to make this a once a year thing, and then this movie makes me want to do it again. But the Thor's also less than 10 weeks out.
I mean, do you lose money doing that?
I don't consider it losing because I got what I wanted out of the showing, but I'm not making money. How about that?
Yeah, because I mean, even if it was $15 a person, that's still better than
maybe. I mean, I like it to feel like it's a fun experience that people can count on not having to break their banks.
I told you I was talking to
I
was talking to my dad down in Florida.
Yeah.
Like I went and saw the movie, and he said, "Wait, I don't think it's not supposed to come out till Friday." And I'm like, "I know a guy."
Yeah,
I'm your movie guy.
Yeah, it was cool.
It's usually like a 20 to 30% hit when all is said and done. So like yesterday cost about $800, and I think I walked out of there with like $575.
Okay.
Which
it's kind of a cool community event, though.
That's it, and that's why I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I really only spent $200 out of my pocket. What's that? I mean, it's money, but it's not like it could be worse.
Yeah.
Part of that too comes from the last minuters that like don't show up because like their money would have been in there, and I'm not asking those people to pay me if shit came up in their lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you were committed to coming and it's like, oh shit, Hope's water just broke. Oh, so when you PayPal me that $20?
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing
that. That's true. Well, I mean, during the trailers, I'm going to see Goonies.
Oh,
we already made.
Yeah.
Dude, I seen Goonies in the
week?
theater. It's next Wednesday and
they only
Sunday.
they do Wednesday and Sundays for the flashback cinema.
Yeah.
I
will be there.
Nice.
Yeah. I have to see Goonies in the theater.
So we have we looked something up actually at dinner last night after the movie. Me and some people that went, because somebody else brought up Goonies. So the guy, the little Asian kid who's in that, what's his name? What's his character's name?
Data.
So Data, well, I only saw it this year.
Yeah, I know. I won't hold it against you too much.
So Data was in two other famous movies. Well,
want me to call it right now?
One's famous, the other one's not famous to you yet, but it's one that I told you was really good.
He was Short Round in Indiana Jones.
He's absolutely Short Round.
And I'm pretty sure, was he in Golden Child with Eddie Murphy?
I have no idea.
No.
But there was a movie
No.
There was a movie that we talked about last week on the podcast.
You have to give me such disdain.
No, but Chandler Gerald.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So there was a movie that we talked about last week that, remember that I went in a marathon for movies one day?
Yeah.
The very first one I watched that I told you was going to handle the multiverse better than this movie, which I stand by that.
Well, first of all, I've heard amazing things about that movie.
It is amazing.
Everything, Everywhere.
All at once.
Yeah.
I was misquoting it. I was calling it Everything, Everywhere, All the Time, but it's all at once.
Yeah, I'm hearing amazing things
The husband
about that.
in that movie is Short Round.
It's Data?
It is Data, yes.
Does he look similar?
He has a mannerism that he does that I couldn't quite place, and then somebody else said last night, it kind of reminds me of the kid from Goonies. I'm like, wait a minute. And then we looked it up, and it is in fact the same guy.
That's
He's
awesome.
like, everybody's laughing and talking when Data's falling.
Yeah.
Slick shoes, are you crazy?
Yeah. So
that's
another
cool.
reason for you to go watch that movie at some point.
Yeah.
So
no, I'm definitely gonna. That's not streaming.
Not yet. It's still in the theater because it's good.
Well, my mom wants to go see Northman because she wants to ask, what's his name's D?
Yeah.
Skarsgård? Yeah.
Which one?
All of them.
Because I told you they're both in it.
Yeah. Captain Skarsgård.
Oh, Captain. Okay.
The head of the family.
Not the clowny McSkarsgård.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's fair. He's got like weird looking like facial features. I wouldn't want him anywhere near my body.
Both of them look inbred. The brother
Alex
Clowney looks
yeah,
inbred kinda.
For sure.
He's got that weird.
That's why he's typecast as like scary looking people. They're just like, hey, we're gonna hand you money to like lean into this.
Yeah.
Have fun with it.
Did you watch that Stephen King show on Prime? I think it was where he played the weirdo.
No.
Which is it?
If you said it, I would remember. They're in like a New England town, of course.
Castle Rock.
Salem Castle.
Salem Castle.
So that was a Hulu show.
Salem Castleberg. Hulu, yeah.
They had 2 seasons, and like it was like, imagine if they started throwing all the Stephen King properties into one universe.
Yes.
And then they like left. They ended like season 2 on a cliffhanger and it got canceled, which made me sad. I'm like, how does Stephen King not sell? Like, speaking of which, he's got a new movie coming out next week that I'm also going to see.
What?
Firestarter.
It's not new. It's a remake.
Well, whatever. It's new in the theater. It's
Why do you
2022.
call a movie a remake, but a cover song is a cover?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Well, Stephen King has his hands in both, and somebody doing a cover is just doing a cover. They have nothing to do with the people that originally made the song.
Because Firestarter was a made-for-TV joint. Oh no, what's her name was in it?
Yeah, Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, Drew Barrymore. That's right.
Yep. We talked about this too when I think I mentioned that movie to Alec a week or 2 ago, and we were saying like, why do they always go back, like especially for Stephen King, all his they make a movie and then they make it again. And like he's got 300 fucking books. You guys could be doing like so many different things.
Well, I think specifically because of Stephen King, all of his earlier shit, like he hated the way The Shining came out.
That's fine.
He didn't want Jack
That's
Nicholson,
totally
and he's like, it's going to become the Jack Nicholson show, and it kind of did.
Yeah. Well, and they did Dr. Sleep, which I mean doesn't really compare.
Yeah, but that was years later when he was already kind of rolling and could kind of pick his pick his productions.
It was good. I mean, not comparatively. Like
the book Dr. Sleep is fucking fantastic.
Right.
Yeah.
But he was kind of right. Like everybody loves Shining because of fucking Jack Nicholson and Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick kind of ruined that movie.
Well, Stanley Kubrick is kind of a there's words for him.
Yeah, a fucking kid toucher.
Yeah.
He was?
Oh yeah.
Well,
he had to leave the country because he was fucking.
Oh, that wasn't Stanley.
Yes,
Kubrick.
it was. He had to go to France.
No.
You're thinking of Polanski.
Yeah,
but they both.
Am I thinking of Roman Polanski?
Yeah.
Polanski,
but he was a kid fucker too, wasn't he?
I believe he was accused. I don't think he's ever been brought on charges.
But then they remade The Shining with that guy from the show Wings as made for TV.
Yeah.
And he said that was more true to that movie.
Did he like it?
I loved it.
Okay.
Yeah, the remake is great.
So we got Firestarter being remade, Salem's Lot's being remade this year also, which we talked about. I told you.
Salem's Lot never had a movie, did it?
Yeah. Are you kidding? There's 2 movies: Salem's Lot and Return to Salem's Lot.
No shit.
Yeah, where have you been?
Were they made for TVs?
The original Salem's Lot may have aired as a miniseries, but you buy it as a movie.
Because that's my favorite King book.
Yeah, I gotta.
Is that the one with the vampires?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Massachusetts.
Yeah. And the priest and all that.
What's the best Stephen King?
Langoliers.
No.
Cujo?
No.
I'm just naming shit.
It's either Langoliers or it.
No, you're wrong.
Hold
it's
on.
a movie.
I was just saying, hold on. Are we talking books or movies?
The Fog?
No.
That was done.
It's a movie. It's one of the best movies of all time.
Well, Stephen King also wrote a book that was adapted for that.
What's
yeah.
It?
So you got to think, sort of like Goonies.
Stand By Me.
Stand By Me. Yes.
I'll stand by you.
Based on the novella, The Body.
That's right.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that movie's great. That's one of those ones you can watch every time it's on TV. I'm like, fuck it. I'll just watch. I'm stuck watching this.
Dreyfus as the narrator.
Yeah.
I think that's the best. Yeah.
It's definitely one of those ones that probably hasn't been remade.
And he got an eyeball.
Like, it'd be worse. You couldn't top it.
And it's weird, like Kiefer Sutherland is creepy in every movie, even though he's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like he's a dickhead bully in that movie, but he's like a creepy, like
dickhead
wow, Kiefer Sutherland could murder anyone at any second. You know?
Yeah. So we
he's
definitely
got the
went
cigarette in his eye.
We definitely went on a Steven tangent, but we're talking about the wrong Steven right now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I like it, but
I had my expectations for this were probably the biggest for any Marvel movie ever.
Because you're a Mark.
Well, so
I'm a strange Mark.
So
Strange
this guy is a big Doctor Strange fan. So this guy's opinion about this is the one I'm the most curious about because I feel like me and you we're easy pickings on how we would feel about this.
I'd say I'm a solid 3.54 out of 5.
So I was a 3.5 also, and I was a 4.
There was a lot
even
of
then I might be a 3.5 realistically with all the gripes I wrote in my review for this last night.
I didn't read your review specifically because I wanted to have like an open discussion about it. But in the beginning, when he was fighting, well, first of all, I mean, humongous
spoilers
for a movie that's out today, basically.
Yeah, if you're gonna watch this movie, don't listen, or just listen anyway and let us spoil you. One or the other.
Because who gives a fuck anyway?
I mean,
yeah, you watched the internet already. They already spoiled it.
You watch the internet. Bob.
I mean, the biggest spoiler I think was Krasinski. We got Krasinski as Reed Richards.
Yeah. Little Falls is on.
Yeah,
they claim him, because of their quiet place.
I mean, yeah. So anybody that's watching this too, if you ever try to figure out where we are, we are less than an hour from where they filmed A Quiet Place 1 and parts of Quiet Place 2. So,
Quiet Place 2 was not as good as the first.
It was not.
Well, you knew what was going on.
It's a middle movie because at the end there's still it's still to be continued. So it's like Back to the Future 2. Yeah. It's fine, but it's not 1.
So at the beginning of this Strange movie, when he, Rachel McAdams' character is getting married, and then he comes out and starts fighting that, was that Shumagorath?
No, it was not. It was Gargantos.
Okay. How do you know that?
Because that's how they credit it in the movie.
Okay.
And also, I told you I had the Submariner book that's in it.
Oh, yes.
It spiked because of the
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't
somebody told us, I think earlier today, that somebody has the license for Shumagorath, so they couldn't use it. I don't know who could possibly Marvel. Disney owns almost everything.
Because in my mind's eye, isn't Shumagorath look exactly like?
Yeah.
Or very similar.
Very similar.
Okay.
Gargantos is probably was ripped from Shumagorath.
Okay.
So
to me it felt like the special effects were very poorly done. Did you notice that, or am I being nitpicky? I mean, because Marvel. When there's fast acting, like when Gargantos wraps Steven in his tentacles. In Marvel movies, it's usually flawless. It's not uncanny valley. It looks like this looked very kind of jittery and fake to me. Did you guys notice that, or am I being nitpicky?
You might be being nitpicky.
Okay.
I
didn't really get that.
Okay.
But at the same time, I had other issues. So.
I also felt like the sound was off like a millisecond. Did you feel that at all?
That might be a musician thing.
Okay.
For you.
Maybe so.
Your music ear.
Yeah, I thought...
I mean, because there were other parts of the movie where we got little musical twangs that we'll get to that I didn't miss a beat on.
There was some... that first opening scene when they're fake Strange and America Chavez are fighting in the multiverse.
So he's classified as I saw the toy for him at Target yesterday. He's called Defender Strange. I don't know why.
Oh, that's Defender Strange? In that outfit?
In the red with the ponytail was Defender Strange. Yep, and then I didn't think that Zombie Strange was going to be... Oh, spoiler. Oh, wait, we already said spoilers. Zombie Strange is also Defender Strange because it's the same body.
Wait, can we get some special effects on this episode and just run a bar at the bottom that just says spoilers and just
I can't even do a fucking tile with our fucking thing to it, so probably not.
Alright, I'll see what I can do.
But those first two scenes, I was like, oh, this movie is going to fucking kick ass.
When they were falling through the
Multiverse?
Oh, that was so cool.
Yeah.
I feel like that was the best part of it, one of the highlights of the movie.
Okay, so if we want to talk nitpicky for a second here, I want to know who the fuck made America Chavez's jacket after she fell into the multiverse when she was 7 or 12 or whatever. What'd you do? Stop somewhere and be like, hey, I got this thing where I could open doors with a star. Can you make me a jacket?
Yeah, I need an extra one though.
Yeah,
because I'm gonna outgrow it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Keep going back to the same Taylor and Earth 11 D6.
Dude, I had this thought when I was at work today. I'm glad you brought that up because it reminds me of it. I feel like, a lot of people bitch about forced inclusion. Let's get it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this movie already got banned in Saudi Arabia. They won't air it.
But I thought...
Disney refused to take out that one scene.
No shit.
Yeah.
Well, I love Kamala Khan as Miss Marvel. I think that character is awesome.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia also said that they would have met Disney halfway if they would have like inserted a one scene edit where she called them her aunties instead of her moms, and then just kept the whole scene intact.
Like, especially now, stuff like that is so kind of quaint. Who gives a fuck? I mean, I understand,
Well, the people that don't like, they say that it's forced inclusion. But the thing is, like, if it's that's the world we live in 2022. Is it forced? Is it really forced?
Yeah. Diversity for diversity's sake isn't diverse.
Right, but that.
So when you have when we have these comic books that come out and I
was gonna say I'm about to give you a counter to this, but finish.
But I don't really care. Yeah. But like when you say, okay, we need a superhero team, we have an Asian, we have a black person, somebody, trans LGBTQ representative. Yep. Then we have to have a handicapped, and we need a fat person, and we need.
But I think like Kamala Khan doesn't go like to always talk about her, Bangladesh.
Yeah.
It's just like it's very. She's just.
But that's the difference of telling a good. A good story that happens to be like diverse, if you want to call it that, rather than they're pushing it. And
so the only thing I'll say to that, and we've had this conversation before, both in the store and on this podcast, we've talked about how we don't like it when they change the characters, and we prefer them to make a new character.
Yes.
And America Chavez, when they made the character,
she's a new character.
I mean, that was the background for the character, so they stayed true to the character.
Yeah. I told you that I thought that it
was a great movie.
I thought it was a good America Chavez movie. I have no idea about the America Chavez character or what her powers were. I wasn't expecting much. I knew she was going to be in the movie. I didn't realize it was going to be, her movie. The problem is her problem. The whole thing, Doctor Strange is reacting to her problem, really.
Well, let me see what you guys...
but the antagonist is coming from his universe.
Yeah, but I want to see what you guys think about this.
Yeah.
It's almost to me like they feel like Doctor Strange cannot hold his own movie. The first Doctor Strange movie was basically all about Caecilius and how he was trying to fuck everything up, and Doctor Strange was kind of a bit player. I mean, I know there was a lot of build up to that, but the Spider-Man movie, it's not a Doctor Strange movie, but this movie, it seems like they never allow him to just be a Doctor Strange movie.
I think what they need, how they need to handle that is Doctor Strange is in his sanctum, and he does something, or he finds something, a miss in the weirdo verse, and he goes to face it. This is something. America Chavez came to him, and he's reacting to everything there, and that's why I call it an America Chavez movie. But would it have, if they came out with an America Chavez, would we have been in a theater to see it?
I mean, we probably would. I don't know if other people would.
I mean,
no, like as we were with the Beal renting the theater. No, but it was Doctor Strange, so we ponied up.
I just wish they would do a Disney Plus show where Doctor Strange, make it like an X-Files serial procedural, and have it like people come to Bleecker Street, they're like, Doc, I'm having nightmares for that. Every week it's a different thing.
That's what
he goes and gets, and just I think that'd be amazing.
But you would be
better off
facing that problem.
Luck wise, you'll never see that live action, but I could see Disney doing that as an animated.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot cheaper to pay voice actors that aren't Benedict Cumberbatch and to animate the thing than it would be to pay him per episode of a show. Are you kidding me?
So that brings us up to about the wedding.
All right. I mean, I could hop, skip, and so Christine gets married, and it's not to Doctor Strange. And big shocker. Cause
she was like, "Hey, Rachel McAdams going to be in this movie."
Yeah. This movie is set in like 2023, I think. If it's still shortly after
the Snap
Game. 23, 24, something like that. So it's been like 9 years since Doctor Strange first blew his hands, and before he left the ER and left Christine and all that. So I guess the assumption is, okay, well, I had mystical art shit to do. I couldn't be there with you.
And why the fuck was he at that wedding in the first place?
She invited him.
Yeah, but fuck you. You're gonna go especially if you still like the broad. You're gonna go to her wedding.
If you really love the girl, you want to see her at her happiest moment.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Al.
I read that on a Hallmark card, dude. You're fucking with big Hallmark now.
Ooh.
Big Hallmark?
You don't want to fuck with that.
Speaking of big Hallmark.
You're going to get buried in greeting card bags.
After he beat Gargantuan Dickhead or whatever,
Gargantuous?
Al goes, big calamari. And I was like, ooh. And Hope said it at the same exact minute.
Oh my god.
I was like, Hope, need Al. You guys are not married.
I also ate shrimp that day.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
What kind of shrimp?
Popcorn shrimp from Popeyes.
Did you take a... Who the fuck gets shrimp from Popeyes?
I'd already gotten this chicken, and they... Listen.
How do you even get into that fucking place?
I know, okay. So when you go somewhere and you see something, right, and they tell you can't have it, what does it do for you? Does it make you double down and want it more? Because it does that for me.
Depends.
Yeah, he's going 4-wheel drive in the back way.
Yeah.
You're going 4-wheel D?
Yeah. So I got there the first day, and I was just like, I want the fucking butterfly shrimp. And they're like, fuck you, we're out of seafood. And I'm like, oh, I'll be back. And guess what? I went back.
I went to the Popeyes in Utica one night after the Cirque du Soleil at the Stanley. It was like 7 on a Friday night. I go, hey, let me get the chicken fingers and like a biscuit. Well, we can give you the biscuit, but there's no chicken fingers. Oh, that's fine. You run out of shit.
Regular chicken.
I was like, let me get 2 breasts and a side of mashed potatoes. She goes, no mashed potatoes. We have corn, but we have no individual pieces of chicken.
What the fuck do you have?
So I go, okay, what can I do with chicken today? She goes, we have no chicken left. I go, how is that humanly fucking possible?
You were Popeyes.
Yeah. It's like...
Well, you sort of answered your own question, though, because that is the old Popeyes, and it is closed.
Dude, that kitchen was fucked up.
Why, were you still at Public Lease there?
Well, it used to be a KFC, and there was like...
Well,
it should be called
better.
Fried Roach, Capital, whatever the fuck.
Mm.
And it was bad. Anyway.
Oh, is that what goes into the extra crispy?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Okay, so, I mean... I don't know if we have to go through this whole thing beat by beat by beat,
right.
But like my big takeaway is we get to a point in this movie at some point where Doctor Strange is on another Earth because he's with America Chavez and they can travel, and we get blown away. We get Professor X with a little twinkle of X-Men animated series music. We got Reed fucking
in
Richards.
the old school cart too.
In the yellow 90s like hover chair.
The animated
we
chair.
Got Reed Richards porting in using his tech.
And the way he died was fucking awesome.
Yep, we got...
Died? Spoilers!
We already said...
we got Mordo,
yeah.
who, I guess no matter what universe you're in, he's a fucking dick.
He's a dick everywhere.
Who else am I missing?
Who is that?
Peggy Carter?
Oh, we had a Captain Carter, but it wasn't the Captain Carter.
It wasn't?
It wasn't the one from What If. She wasn't on Earth 868 with Professor Xavier and all these other jamokes. It just must be another Earth where she took the serum.
And why couldn't the whole movie be set in the paint realm? They have to land in this realm where just everybody looks like normal Fox.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they be in the topless Kathy
really,
Ireland realm?
Because it's hard to eat food in the paint realm. What else? Who we missing? Black Bolt, who they got the original actor for, which
the way he died was even fucking better.
Yeah.
That shocked the fuck out of me though, because Disney has made a red line. Speaking of Miss Marvel, they do not want to talk about Inhumans. And what do they fucking do? Oh, hey, let's get the number 1 Inhuman in this movie.
Why don't they want to talk about Inhumans?
Because they felt the show was terrible.
That show was fucking terrible.
They made a show. They are like, okay, we fucked up.
And we didn't pretend it doesn't even exist.
Yeah, Littlefinger was in that show too, wasn't he?
Who?
Yeah.
The dude from Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
He was their version of Loki. He was the bad brother.
Yes.
And then for whatever reason, the chick with the awesome hair, they turned her into Tilda Swinton because they shaved her head after the first episode or whatever. So
Medusa?
Like what kind of power do you have when you're the queen with like the red hair that does stuff with no hair? Anyway, so he was there, and we had Maria Rambeau, Captain Marvel. Yeah. So.
And that was that the Maria Rambeau from the movie?
Yes, it was.
It was the same actress?
Maria, not Monica. Just remember, Monica's the daughter in WandaVision, and Maria was in Captain Marvel.
Yes, sorry.
Because somebody else said that to me too at dinner last night, and I'm like, you're right, because they're different people.
Okay.
And then we meet the whole Illuminati, and they all get murked.
No.
Yeah.
No Tommy Cruise.
That's
No,
what
something
I
like
was upset about that. They promised me irredeemable Iron Man.
Actually, they never promised anything.
Yeah.
Somebody promised me.
The internet
Yeah.
box.
The internet box did.
Yeah, well, you
And
should
they
know
also-
better by now to trust
they
Is
that.
also-
that a talking Freddy Krueger doll?
Yes.
Fuck me sideways running.
And they also
It's
promised.
from the year I was born.
What does that cost?
100.
They also promised us zombies, and we didn't get.
We got one zombie.
Got one dumbass zombie.
Doctor Strange zombie looked like a smashed asshole.
He
It
looked
looked so cheesy and
He
fucking
looked like
horrible.
Sam Raimi called up the guy who did Deadites and said, "Hey, do a Deadite for 2022."
This movie was dripping of Sam Raimi.
Oh, it sure was.
Yeah.
It had the horror vibes left and right.
Like the
Yeah.
shots he does, like I guess I never noticed it, but
Yeah.
it's like
Some of the cutaways and the music
Yeah.
that goes with them, like as you cut from scene to scene, definitely felt like him too.
it felt like Drag Me to Hell kinda. Did you watch that Raimi movie? It's
Yes.
like the evil It's kinda like
At one point, when I think Zombie Doctor Strange was doing the like weird shit with the hands, I was thinking like he was gonna do some Deadite like punching face stuff too. But it's just like okay, they gave us Bruce Campbell for that instead.
yeah.
By the way, Bruce Campbell's in it is Ash when he retires.
See-
He becomes a hot dog cart.
See, and not to throw spoilers, but at the end
Yeah.
when they
There's a
show,
second post credit scene.
when they show him,
Mm-hmm.
I think it would have been great that
Yeah.
what he did,
Mm-hmm.
but then that's when the zombies show up, because then they could have had him do some Ash stuff.
Yeah, for like a hot second, like
Yeah,
or at least cock a shotgun.
Yeah.
something.
Or put a fucking chainsaw on his nub arm.
Yeah.
Nub.
Now, I think having I thought Scarlet Witch was a cool big bad in this movie.
Yeah.
But
Especially
knowing,
after WandaVision ended and she comes out looking like a hero, kind of.
knowing that she's not going to die or anything's bad is going to come to her kind of ruined it from Jump Street.
Well, at least if that's what you thought, anyway.
She's not fucking dead.
She's dead.
You honestly think she's dead?
The Dark Wolf got destroyed across the multiverse.
And the building fell on her, but I mean, the strongest magical character in Marvel history is going to die from a little building falling on her?
I mean, if she lets it fall on her, yeah.
Your thoughts, Zach?
Wundagore is where Wanda and Pietro were raised by the cow. What the heck was the cow?
What the
Person.
fuck are you talking about?
So in Marvel Comics, the High Evolutionary.
I'm sorry.
The High Evolutionary comes from Mount Wundagore. He's some cybernetic looking dude.
Mount what?
Wundagore.
That's the mountain.
So Wundagore is where she was. Where the temple is, the things.
Yes.
So it normally doesn't have a mystical history. It's got a history of this like fucker experimenting on people
Yeah, making cat people and dog people
and cow people.
cow people.
There's a cow people?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he had a
Did you
midwife.
fuck a cow person?
Well, it was a lady cow that was in his employ raised Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver in the comics.
What comic run are we talking here? Old school Scarlet
Old
Witch?
school,
Yeah, old school, like
early.
probably Uncanny X-Men
Yeah.
stuff, maybe X Factor.
Yeah, that's a big blind spot for me, that early stuff.
So it's weird that's where they chose to do Wundagore. Okay, you guys wrote 3.5s. I gave it a 4, but I did still have like nerd gripes. I guess is what took that down a peg for me. So let's go down the list here, okay? So we just saw Spider-Man. We were very heavily led to believe that Spider-Man's spell is what was going to affect this. Had no effect. It had nothing to do with anything in this, right? We hear it as a throwaway line at one point while they're having pizza.
And wasn't Doctor Strange not supposed to remember?
He just from my takeaway from that was he just doesn't know that Peter is Spider-Man. So nobody knows Peter Parker exists,
Okay.
but they still know that Spider-Man exists.
Okay.
So we got that. We were told that Loki had a tie to this. I hadn't seen any goddamn Loki shit, unless we're just talking about the multiverse existing, which from everything that we saw in this movie sounded like it already existed. It's just like, they get to Earth 868 and like, oh yeah, we know about the multiverse. Our Strange did this, and we were worried about any other Stranges that might come. Like all these things that they like Disney's like giving you the marketing for, like, oh, watch this, watch that, watch this.
Hey,
like,
where's my zombies? Where's my
Yeah.
irredeemable Iron Man?
Like that stuff bothered me because it's like that almost seems intentional. Like,
Well, there was a lot of multi-dimensional stuff that really amounted to Jack plus shit at the end.
oh,
of the
well,
day.
really, you know what it was? It's fan service. It was the Disney equivalent of fan service, like the way they would do an anime. Which is fine. I mean, I liked seeing Reed Richards, I liked seeing Professor X and all that stuff, but it didn't do anything to advance mutants or the Fantastic Four and 616.
Oh, but it did open the door. They
It opened
showed
the door.
that they can do them.
It showed that they could do it, although the word mutant was never uttered
No.
neither. We just got to see Professor X's cool powers.
I think Elizabeth Olsen did a fantastic job as a scary big bad.
She did.
That's why I wish.
And Raimi helped do that with his ability to do scary shit.
I wish Scarlet Witch would just go full dark side and be.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget she's got to say no more mutants at some point.
We also.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So I mean, to your earlier point about Scarlet Witch being dead, it's Marvel, so never say never. But we also missed out on opportunities for cameos by Shang-Chi and White Vision.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that might come around somewhere.
I mean, White Vision could have come back and tried to dissuade her.
Or he could have been in a different dimension, still alive, fucking around. Or
Paul
Bettany was in nothing.
Yeah, why was she a single parent in every universe? Fuck.
Yeah.
It's kind of depressing. Who was Dad?
Maybe she
and those
got
kids were
IVF.
Those kids were annoying.
Well,
fuck those
the same kids from WandaVision.
I don't care. They're singing the ice cream song. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
If my kids ever did that,
I'd spank the fuck out of them.
Yeah. If my kid, I would have to punch them right in the
Yeah.
freaking suck hole.
I'm kind of
the touch hole.
Oh, no. And it was kind of weird that we point blank see Wanda get told, okay, well, what do you think is gonna happen? They even talk about something that they probably avoid in a movie normally. Well, what are you gonna do with the mother when you get to that universe? Doesn't have a fucking answer. And then she gets there, beats the mom up, and the kids get scared. Gee, I know nobody could have saw that coming.
Yeah, you didn't think you were gonna have to do that.
Yeah, you're just so irrationally obsessed
I would have
with
just went,
finding your
hey kids, snap now, eat your mom. She's made of cotton candy, and everything would be fine.
Or put them under a hex and change into their mom, and then put her somewhere. I mean, all these things are not good, but you got better ways you could have done this. But all these gripes aside, though, I enjoyed the movie.
Well,
I liked that.
That's one of my things. Is if you go to the thing to gripe, you're gonna be able to find it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
There's stuff to bitch about.
Oh, there was definitely people that at our viewing that
didn't like it.
Didn't like it for reasons that they always don't like things.
Right, but
what were the reasons?
Well, hold on.
Okay.
To my point though is if you're just gonna, here's my thing. I went to the movies.
Mm-hmm.
I hung out with you guys beforehand. We bullshitted. I had my popcorn, my churros. I had a Slurpee.
No snow caps.
No snow caps this time. I watched a fun movie with special effects, and then I had a good evening until I took a header off my deck. But
so do we know what the other creature that was chasing them at the beginning of the movie was?
no, that's just it.
Yeah, that was a weird. You know what? You know what else I think? I think Wong's the Sorcerer Supreme now, but he's like, yeah, Steven, go fuck this guy. Hey, Sorcerer Supreme, why don't you do some ass kicking?
Well, that's because he really knows that he's the de facto Sorcerer Supreme.
He even said it in Spider-Man that he only got it on a technicality.
Yeah.
I mean,
So give it up.
You could. I don't know why you couldn't. And then Steven still has to bow to him at the end.
Yeah.
And that is what we call a callback.
Which is cool because I enjoyed that dude.
Yeah.
I think one of the highlights was Mad Max Fury Road showing up.
Yeah, I still
Yes.
don't get why he didn't open a fucking portal to San Francisco and get Shang-Chi when they're preparing to fight Wanda, right? You got a 24-hour window here, right? All you want is Sorcerer Supremes or sorcerers. You don't want anybody else in your corner. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
You got holographic technology where you can talk to Bruce Banner and Captain Marvel. You don't want to call anybody else, huh? Rhodey, nobody.
Did you know Charlize Theron was going to be Clea?
Don't.
No, I didn't know
all
Did
right.
anybody know
Let's
that?
talk spoilers. Okay, more spoilers.
How many we've already said every spoiler you could.
Well, close.
Yeah.
So I told Al this earlier, and this was the thing that I liked. This was one of my favorite runs on Avengers. They introduced the whole incursion idea, with the universes that collide and one survives and one doesn't.
Okay.
So that was a Jonathan Hickman Avengers run thing.
Oh, I would not like that, but
Yeah.
okay.
So that was his whole thing. That's how the universe ended, and they did the whole Secret Wars thing because too many universes had been destroyed, and then Earth 616 collided, and then that's it. Nothing left. But anyway, so they introduced the incursion idea, and then on one of the post-credit scenes, we get Charlize Theron as Clea opening what looked like a rip in reality to Dormammu's realm.
AKA
Smoke Show
Oh,
McGee.
Smoke Show McGee.
But did you notice how like that cut in reality looked kind of like the Dormammu dimension?
I didn't.
It looked like it to me.
I was too busy looking at her.
I mean, I saw behind her while looking at her. So do both.
You're more of a gentleman than I am, I suppose. But no, yeah, that's. I don't know.
I mean, I like purple eyeliner as much as the next guy.
That's why you were a big Kip Winger guy.
Sure was.
Hot on Kip Winger.
I don't know who that is, but
Super hot chick from the 80s.
Yes, you should look it up on your.
Yeah, I don't believe you.
Okay, that's fine. You don't want to see a hot chick? That's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was cool.
Um,
I don't know how much more there is to say really about it.
Doctor Strange will return, and then we've got like 10 different Marvel properties in the next 4 years that none of which seem like the places he would return.
I did have a theory kind of about Marvel movies as a whole. Like, remember when like the first Avengers movie came out and there was so much fucking hype in like the first Thor movie? I think now we're kind of hitting a point of diminishing returns where nothing could kind of live up to those earlier moments now.
I think I'm also sort of worried that like, you know, we had like whatever 20 fucking movies leading up to the Infinity War, right? And now it seems like at every turn, like every Marvel property that like is new now introduces something totally different, and you're like,
It's getting bloated.
well, not just bloated, but what I mean is like before they were all sort of eventually leading to the Infinity War, and it seems like now the new concepts that are introduced could each be their own large thing. It's like, well, which one are we going to do? Or are we going to do them all?
They're going to need to tie everybody in on a Galactus something.
Well, we got the fucking Eternals, which will have to return at some point. We've got...
Think the Eternals will return?
Yeah, Pip the Troll and Star Fox, of course.
That movie wasn't off. I mean, it wasn't
I don't think it was bad.
horrifically bad.
I don't think it was bad at all.
It wasn't great.
I liked it. I think I'd do 2.5 on the napkin scale.
It had 2 smoke show McGee's in that one.
Yeah, and they totally freaking made one of them look like grandma.
Yeah, I wasn't really happy about that.
Yeah.
But the other one looked great. I'm speaking, of course, about Tomb Raider.
Not Salma Hayek?
No,
She was the one that got made to look like
yeah.
a grandma.
Well, I thought you meant it was
She was like,
Angelina Jolie looked like a granny too.
no, Angelina Jolie was on point.
Alright.
She could go toe to toe with the Hulk and then like be a stunner.
Yeah, I just watched that movie too the other day.
Oh, you finally got through it, huh?
Yeah, it
In the movie.
was entertaining.
Yeah, and then again, the Eternals get kidnapped by the big Eternal or the big Celestial, so that'll have to get wrapped around at some point. But like no, so at dinner last night I was sitting with my buddies at Follows and we're like going through the list of all the future stuff because we're like, okay, well, what could Doctor Strange return? And it's like each thing is just its own
What
path.
are some of the future movies coming out?
So we got Ant-Man 3. Well, we got Thor.
I could give a fuck less about an Ant-Man movie.
I'm super hyped about that because of Kang, because that's where we finally get Kang.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's already been announced for that, and he had his whatever cameo in Loki is like
Same dude?
a variant of same guy.
Because he was awesome in that.
Yeah, same guy. So then we'll get actual Kang, who's not just like some schmuck at the edge of time, like making funny banter.
Yeah.
We got the Marvels, which I have no fucking clue where they're gonna go with that.
Well, didn't that
Captain
just
Marvel
get swapped around date wise?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, regardless of when it aired, the threat for that could be anything, especially when you're
What's the
incorporating.
Marvels?
That's Captain Marvel too, but it's
Oh.
Captain Marvel.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Miss Marvel and Proton.
I could give a fuck less about her now too.
I'm curious. I want to know what the fuck they're gonna do. What do we got? Thor 4, which I mean we know that's Gore the God Butcher. Guardians 3, which is probably Adam Warlock, primarily, and probably Peter trying to.
That could be really good.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be the last one too. So James Gunn said no mas tiempo after that.
Well, he doesn't necessarily have to be the director, does he?
He doesn't, but I mean, like he put him on the map.
Yeah.
It's.
And they already fired him once. They could do it again.
Yeah, I mean, like he's got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
After that, what else is there? Wow. I mean, this year we still got Black Panther 2: Wakanda Forever.
I really like that first Black Panther movie.
That's another one where I have no fucking clue what direction they're gonna take, especially without him now.
Is his sister gonna take the mantle? You think?
Somebody told me that she is not in the movie because of her. She's like made inflammatory statements about like conservative stuff. I don't know. So she's off the project. I think
She's a conservative, or she's making inflammatory remarks about conservative.
stuff about like being an anti-vaxxer, I think, and, like telling people not to get like COVID vaccines and whatever.
Well, you know what? I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
I'll leave that subject light.
Yeah. I mean, like whatever. But if you're a public figure, you probably who's just an actor, you probably shouldn't be telling people what to do.
Not true. I mean, you have the right to say there's freedom of speech in this country.
You have the right to say it, but I think there's a difference between saying something and trying to convince people of something.
Was she trying to convince people, or she just said?
She was trying to convince people.
I would have to know that.
Do some.
She goes, "Hey, asshole! If you take the vaccine, you're an idiot. Don't take it."
Something like that. Like
okay.
some tweets and stuff. Anyway. So there's that one. Which I think I heard that Manape is now going to be the primary, like...
Oh, that's cool, too, though.
He was kind of cool. I don't mind him.
Yeah, he's a beast, still.
Yeah, and I like when he makes the ooh-ah sound.
Yeah.
Yes!
I mean, when they all come out of the strange portals in Endgame, that was such a fucking cool part.
Yeah. Sometimes if you, like, pause that, like, you can see, like, how the, like, top, like, 10 guys, like, all line up, and he's one of them. Like, you know, when they're, like, standing there at the head, like, before, like... You know, like,
really?
Before it says assemble. Yeah, he's right there.
Dude.
Front line.
That gives me goosebumps. I mean, I get a huge nerd boner every time he says that.
I frequently watch that for the nerd boner it will give me.
I still cry every time Iron Man dies because I'm such a fucking pussy.
I cry when I see Doctor Strange give him the one finger.
I watched a dude named Doctor Strange give dude the one finger on Bleecker Street one time. And not the Bleecker Street.
We do have a Bleecker Street here. But yeah, I think that's where we're at. And then like show wise, what do we got for shows?
Moon Knight.
We'll get there. We're just talking future at the moment though. Ironheart, Armor War, Secret Invasion, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk. Anything else I'm missing on the docket at the moment?
Oh, I forgot about the She-Hulk show.
Yeah, that's next after Miss Marvel. Which we're probably gonna get a Daredevil cameo in again. Because they're both lawyers, and Charlie Cox, like Kevin Feige keeps saying like this isn't the last you've seen of him, etc. So, Moon Knight, as Al said, I finished watching it today. I hadn't watched it fully before today.
I watched it last night after the movie. I had a full Marvel day.
There you go.
What do you give that episode out of 5?
Well, I'm 2 across the board for all of it.
The whole show is a 2 out of 5.
Right up until the last post-credit scene, and that bumps it probably to a 3.5. That post-credit scene.
I thought that almost lowered it for me.
No, that post-credit scene was more Moon Knighty than the rest of it.
In a weird way, it was like how Mark should have been.
Yeah.
Is what they did with that character.
You mean the credit scene in the limo there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there 2? What was the other one?
No, just that's it.
Man, I don't know how I feel about that show. It had its ups and its downs. I mean, I was proven wrong, obviously. Like, I wasn't really holding out a whole lot of hope, but there was no Gore the God Butcher.
I still feel like those Disney shows could be...
What?
Instead of... How many episodes was Moon Knight?
6.
It could have been 4. Like, easily.
Or 8.
No.
Yeah.
Like, Loki was way too long for the amount of information you got. Like, it's like, I don't know. I thought the first episode of Moon Knight was really, really good.
I learned something while looking up Marvel shows yesterday, and it pertains to Moon Knight. And I told your buddy Devin about it. It might make him a little happy. So everybody was complaining about how there was no Werewolf by Night, right, in the show. And as I was looking up announced Marvel Cinematic Universe movie show specials or whatever, slotted before the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, which is in December,
That's gonna be fucking awesome.
A Marvel Halloween special in October. It's a live action, and it focuses on Werewolf by Night.
Ooh.
So I would not be surprised if we had some Oscar Isaac cameo action in that. Because Moon Knight, Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
Travelers of the Night.
Can I?
Maybe some Belade.
Yeah. I kind of think like the entire show would have been fine without Layla.
God, I think she saved that show for me in spots.
Really?
Yeah. What do you guys think?
She was just kind of like there. Like she could have like not been there, and it really wouldn't have mattered. And like her becoming an avatar at the end, just because they didn't have enough avatars to perform the ritual, was kind of just like, okay, you are very important, other than just being a body.
Yeah.
But then there was other stuff that was cool. I liked Harrow as a bad guy. I thought Ethan Hawke was great.
It seems like Ethan Hawke's having like a huge career resurgence. Like I see him in.
Totally okay with that.
Yeah. I see him in all sorts of shit lately.
Yeah.
And upcoming stuff too.
I also like how they like really tried to fuck with you in that last episode about the psych ward.
Yeah.
At first, like where all the shit ends, and it's like, oh, we're back in the psych ward with Harrow, and then it's like he's bleeding. It's like, okay, maybe we're not.
How did you know that was the Lockley? What's his last name again?
Jake. He says his name.
Yeah, but how did you said that name 3.5 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago?
Well, we actually read the old comics.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So that guy's the driver. He was like a personality that was Mark Spector's driver, which is why he was driving the Spectre limousine.
But why would Spectre?
Okay, so originally they weren't personalities so much as identities that he took.
Yeah.
Oh, kind of like that.
So yeah, so
later they retconned it to be like, okay, well,
so
you saw a different person on the panel, but really it was all on Fuckhead's head.
Yeah, it was Mark Spector,
Stephen
Grant, and the
Jake Lockley.
Yeah, and so I don't know. They just this version of Moon Knight is what, from 2013 or 16 when that Lemire run came out, and then they sort of changed it from him having these personalities that he took on to solve his cases. Yeah, he kind of was like, it was kind of like the same way that the Shadow had different.
Yeah, they changed it. I mean, because it's more like domestic abuse trauma created the personalities.
Right.
But what we don't find out by the end of this is what created Jake. We don't know why Jake exists.
But they sort of went from having a character that took on these personalities to solve a case or to get from point A to point B to
it being like about mental health.
Yeah, mental health, and he's crazy. That's why he has these different personalities.
Yeah.
I guess I can see both sort of.
So even though we like outside, so Moon Knight was billed as a limited series, and then the other day Marvel trolled everybody, and they made a Twitter post where they're like, "Hey, prep for the series finale of Moon Knight," and they deleted series finale and retweeted it as season. So now everybody's like, "Oh my God, it's not over." I think the better way to do that would have been at the end of the episode, the same way they did with Doctor Strange, would have been Moon Knight will return. Because when you end it ambiguously like that, I mean, they could just never do shit with him again, and it's just a self-contained story.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's about as connected to the MCU stuff as the fucking Netflix shows were. I mean, in all reality.
That's why. Do we ever see a future where Moon Knight, Shang-Chi, Doctor Strange, all these people are in a
single movie together?
Yeah.
No, I don't see it.
We're not going to get a new Avengers style movie.
The only other thing I could see is maybe if there's some global threat, and then what happens is you see the main Avengers team, right? But then they start cutting around the world and like showing the different heroes like combating whatever it is wherever they are. I could see them doing that, but I don't necessarily see them doing like another like one of those like Avengers wraparound where you do the circle and you see all those guys all in one spot. Yeah. So.
Yeah, because that really was masterfully tied in that Endgame. That movie was just really like, amazingly done.
Like, how could you ever fucking do that shit again?
No, it's so fucking hard.
Yeah. Yep.
What are you, sleepy fella?
I'm not feeling great, man.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Wanna call it a?
No. We gotta talk about that whacked out show on Prime, dude.
Have you watched Outer Range yet, bud?
Well, we talked about this. I saw the first 2 episodes.
Okay.
But you're not current.
I'm not current.
Oh. So
tonight better be.
Well, put it this way. So last week Ryan's like, are you current on it? And I'm like,
yeah.
No, I gotta catch up. So I watched it. Because what is there? Total of 4 episodes or 6?
Today will be 6, right?
Yeah.
Today was 6, 5 and 6.
I think it's
today's
7
5
and 8.
Oh really?
Yeah.
However, Well,
today.
I was behind and then I was ahead of you.
Yeah.
So the last weekend I'm like, did you watch it yet? And we're going back and forth. And it's like
nonstop.
Well, seriously, I thought it was a Yellowstone ripoff, and I'm like, okay, and then it freaking takes a left turn at Wackoville, and it keeps going down the rails to I don't know what the hell's going on.
Mm-hmm. That show really, in order for it to be good in my book, needs to really tie this.
Yeah, because you're watching it, and every episode you're like, the fuck?
Like, there's a bear walking through the woods. I say yellow. Then it sniffs my leg. That's like.
And then it shits in my hands.
There's a lot of weird shit like that happens for no.
Yeah.
Supposedly no reason.
Yeah.
Huh. Somebody said Brad Pitt produced that. Did you hear that?
I thought you told me.
Oh, maybe I did. My mother told me it.
Did you see his name in the credits?
I don't look up shit like that, Dom. I just like conjecture. But that show, are you gonna watch it tonight?
I'm gonna try to.
I know on Fridays, like, dude, that's another thing. Like at the movies, I get up at 4:30 in the morning, so I'm fighting to not fall asleep during that movie yesterday.
I fell asleep, I think.
Yeah, and I even drank a full Monster. I was still like about to pass out.
I'm actually thinking I want to go see it again, but the second time I want to go out and see it in the 4D IMAX.
Dude, they had that movie in 3D. Why didn't we watch it in 3D?
Nobody said they wanted to see it in 3D. I could have rented a 3D.
3D's back, bro.
Weirdly enough, Marvel said that the first movie that they had, the best movie that they'd ever sold out tickets for in 3D was Doctor Strange 1.
I saw that.
And they are expecting that this one will outpace that.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. So, Doctor Strange is just the 3D movie of choice.
Yeah, I saw Casablanca in 3D. That was a fucking fuckfest.
What?
Oh, bullshitting.
What the
So tomorrow's free comic day. Are you excited?
No.
Why are you not excited?
I'm excited. I'm full of love and
It's an
peace
it's an ordeal.
Yeah.
It's as long as everybody that comes has a good time, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even see any of the free comic book day books yet. Some good stuff out? Or looks to be?
The DC and the Marvel ones were actually decent for once, because some years they're crap.
Is there any indie shit that looks...
Bone Orchard.
Bone Orchard.
So it's the first...
That was my nickname in high school.
So normally on free comic book day we have a kids section and we have a teen section. So now this year we also have to incorporate a mature adult section, because Bone Orchard, despite the humorous joke I made to Al when we were going over it in the preview, is in fact have dongs in it. Full frontal.
I need it!
Full frontal, baby.
Full frontal dongage?
Yes.
God, I really need it.
Yeah.
Multiple dongage?
Yeah, it's an orchard. You can't just have one.
It's a dong fucking orchard?
Dong Fest.
It's a baby arm fest?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that one, and there's some Juju Jaijan that says 16+. So we're gonna.
I always get Juju Jaijan and Ramen 1/2 manual on free comic book day, because they always go up in price. I always get manual Ramen 1/2 manual and Juju Jaijan.
So the Juju Jaijan is in the adult pile this year.
Why? There's dongs. There's magical dongs.
I didn't look into that one.
Double tap the dong.
It's at 16+. So.
Why?
No fucking clue. It's Juju Jaijan. Something happens.
You can't trust Juju Jaijan.
Some adult tries to hit on a kid, or some tentacle tries to steal some schoolgirl's underwear. Who the fuck knows?
I had my underwear stolen by a tentacle one time.
Yeah.
But I was on 7 hits of acid while smoking DMT and injecting heroin into my butthole.
Yeah.
Oh, not your toe?
No.
Between your toes?
No. I got a taste from my butthole lips.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
You know it doesn't work on a hole that's always open, right? You gotta make a hole.
You have a lot of receptors in your butthole lips.
I'm good. I'm good.
You guys are fucking boring me today, Joe.
I mean, I could touch your Bone Orchard.
How much is it? I'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So I mean,
Go see Doctor Strange. Come to Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah, or wherever you live, go to Free Comic Book
Yeah.
Day. It's national.
no, fuck you.
What?
If you live on the Eastern Seaboard, come to Ravenswood Comics.
Get some savage eats with some savage meats.
That was Al's nickname in college.
We got a signing. We got
You got a signing?
an artist.
What the fuck?
Who has published work in Diamond?
Who?
Andrew Sislinski.
How do I not know about? How was I not referenced on this decision?
I thought he told you.
You were
I'm a big part of Free Comic Book Day around here, bro.
Who?
I'm the raffle master.
Yeah.
Oof. I'd like you to meet our other raffle master tomorrow and see how that goes.
I'm the who? Tom?
Can I turn on the camera when they're interacting?
Wait a minute.
Oh,
Who's the
Jesus.
other?
I'm
It's
not-
not that fuck stick earlier, is it?
No.
No, that'd be great, though.
Would it?
Yeah, that'd also be great. That'd be a special episode.
Yeah.
You'd see extreme violence happen if you like that type of shit.
On this
All
week's
right.
episode of Upstate Ridiculousness,
Yeah.
two beards.
Al's
one-
got to go home and scrub his pussy.
Oh boy. Well, kids, it's been fun.
I'm done. I'm out.
Adios, Black Bart.
Yeah.
Peace and love.
Peace and